This is All the Right Marketing, a publishing podcast by Cardinal Rule Press. Now, here's your host, Maria Dismondy.
Welcome to All the Right Marketing, where we talk with business owners and industry leaders about marketing their programs and products, which, for those of you who have been listening for a while, you know that's books. Our guests share tips that help anyone in the book industry, whether you are a librarian, bookseller, author, or publisher. The truth of the matter here is that the advice coming out of these conversations are for creative marketing across industries. Today's guest is Shana Hartman, who has a PhD and body-mind method coach who turned into an embodied writing coach. Dr. Shana Hartman has over 20 years experience exploring writing as a tool for embodying yourself, connecting with others, and creating new meaning in the world. And she has been inspired by many heavy hitters in the industry, in the area of social justice and the world of education, which I love. She sees writing as an act of freedom, which she carries into her current work, supporting heart-centered business owners and sharing their message in books, and promoting more inclusive and intuitive stories and voices in the world of business. Oh, we need someone like you in this industry. Welcome, Shana. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. So excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, geez, we're just going to start off with this one. Tell us about your experience being a double in the Hunger Games.
Yeah, so the sad part of it is my husband was actually cast originally. We both wound up being extras and as the capital people, for those of you who are familiar with this story. So the ones that nobody liked and the weird, funky looks, if you saw the movie. But yeah, in our area where we are in North Carolina, the movie was filmed, had heavy filming in this area. And so they basically did the whole classic, open them all, come bring a headshot, which we were like, we don't have headshots, what? So we're just blowing up big picture. Yeah, exactly. Selfie, big pictures. And he actually got cast and was filming several times in a row. He's in several scenes as an extra. And then they were filming so long that they wound up losing people because, people got jobs and other things to do rather than just sitting around the set waiting to be an extra. And so he said, I've got my wife who could come. And basically, if I could fit into somebody else's, because you have to go, he had to get fitted, he had his outfit and all of that good stuff. And if I could fit in somebody else's original outfit, then I could be an extra. So yes, I got to be a capital person. I had crazy hair, crazy makeup, yellow false eyelashes. And we got to be together. We were in the tribute, when they're coming into the stadium and it's the crowd, the big fans all in the stadium. It was really only probably maybe 100 of us that was made to look like thousands of us. You can't maybe if you slow it down super slow, we know where we are because we did it, but
That's awesome.
My claim to fame.
Are there pictures of this outfit anywhere on social media that I can go digging?
Well, technically we weren't supposed to do it, but yes, I did sneak one. I don't know if I ever shared it on social media, but yeah, lots of colors, lots of fun.
That is so fun. You might need to just send me an email with
That's right. Okay.
I'm curious.
Yeah, I'll try to find it.
Okay. Now we're going to get into the whole, part of the podcast where individuals listening are going to be learning something because you have been in this, you're a former full professor of English.
Yes.
And let's talk about your journey. What kind of work have you been doing in the industry? What was your journey? How did it begin?
Yeah, a lot of people come in to become an English teacher because they have a love of literature. And obviously I do love to read, and Hunger Games, young adult literature, some of my favorite. But what I really love is the writing piece. And that was really, as an English teacher, I taught high school, I taught, and then ultimately landed in college and university setting and wound up actually teaching future English teachers was sort of my main focus. But for me, writing was I wouldn't have called it at the time, but such a connected, embodied type of experience. And so I really loved pushing against what many of my students thought, writing needed to be, how they were taught, unfortunately, with good intentions, that there's a formula to it and it has to be a certain way, but just really helping them connect to what did they want to say? What voice, what wanted to come forward from their voice and their experiences. And yeah, then we could combine that with some of the academic requirements and things. So I always was pushing the envelope, so to speak, and not necessarily following the norms. Then many, many years later of doing that, I actually wound up going back to school, because who doesn't need more things to add to their name after a doctorate program? I actually became a massage therapist, had no idea what I would do with that, kind of had a little bit of a side business going there with that, and then found coaching. And when I started to learn what coaching was, it just all clicked for me. And so I became a body mind method coach. I'm certified in that. And as I knew that being in the classroom in the way that I was no longer aligned, it really was sort of the thing to combine my love of writing and supporting people with their writing, along with the way that I approach it, which is just being really connected to yourself. And so now I get to support, and I love business. I think we're all business owners, even if we, feel like we aren't. We all kind of have brands and things, and especially authors. And so I love just bringing all of this together and supporting really heart-centered people and getting their messages out there in a book, ideally ones that are new and different and unique. And there's so many of us who have such unique messages and journeys. And I'm just tired of seeing kind of pale male stale on the digital or actual bookshelves, the front facing covers. Like, we're just sort of done. We're sort of over it. We need more voices. There are more voices out there, and we need them to be published and acknowledged and put in that credible world. Yeah.
And some people are just so busy, Shana. I mean, the thought of writing a book is daunting.
Right.
So if I were a business owner who came to you and said, I'm interested in your writing coaching, what would that look like? Is that, is that a weekly session? And then you, I was going to say prescribe homework. That's not the right term I'm looking for, but tell us what that looks like in a nutshell.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So essentially, I work with people in two different ways. So we have our kind of VIP level. That's for often the person who does want a more concentrated and higher level of support, where you really get the full power of my team behind you. And then we also have a group level, which is more like a slow and steady wins the race, because we are all busy. And at the group level, we spend about a year with you, and still to write a book in a year is still pretty darn fast. And then at that higher VIP level, we're usually looking at more like 6 months. But the first thing we do with each of them is what I call gather our word assets. So if you are a business owner or leader in any way, and you are creating content, like, you're a writer. There's just, I don't know any business owner that's not a writer in some way, shape, or form, even if they have copywriters. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Social media posts, marketing, your programs, there's so much that already is there. And so a lot of times we find you already have so much written. It's just a matter of taking that and finding the threads that might start to shape a book. And that's really fun when people sit back and realize it's not about finding this extra time to go off and, Hemingway it in your own little house beside your house with your 6-toed cats. But really just about using what you've got and then letting it support. My clients find that it really supports their business to be in the spirit of writing this larger work, because it's the things that they're saying all the time, the things that they're sharing all the time, when they just kind of stay around those common things and realize not everybody knows that, right? It's old hat to us because we've been doing it. But I love saying, like, what are the 3 things that you're always saying to your people, right? That maybe your family, your friends, your clients, your coworkers, like, what are those things? And all of us have them in some way, shape, or form. How would you explain that to someone, right? And just breaking that all down. So we create a plan, we create a system that's a really aligned plan to help them go from idea to full manuscript, ready to go off in the publishing direction that they choose.
And this is where you're really speaking to the fact that the book's already written. Like it's there, it just has to come together. And because as a business owner, like you said, you're talking to family and friends about what you do, you're sharing your expertise. And so that's where you're saying it's really already written, right?
Yeah, in many ways it is. And then the pieces that haven't yet, they're in there, they're inside of us, but maybe haven't come to the outside with black words on the white page. It's really powerful to support people in that it doesn't actually take a ton of time to do. It's more about finding your flow. And we support you obviously in doing that, whether it be kind of going on a writing retreat. I'm actually getting to do that next week with a group of our clients. And the power of just having 4 or 5 days of just writing and being held in that space, right? It just sounds so amazing.
Where will the retreat be?
The retreat's actually going to be in Amelia Island, Florida. So excited because we're a little chilly right now, although I'm in baby weather, I know, for winter.
Well, I don't know Amelia Island. I know Anna Maria Island, but I'm gonna have to look.
Yeah, it's near Jacksonville.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very cool. Oh, that's awesome. So let's I'm gonna ask you a question that was not on the outline, so it's a little bit outside the box. But have you considered your own writing? Have you considered writing about what you're doing, or maybe about historical fiction? I don't know. Tell me what your journey is on your own personal writing.
Yeah. So obviously coming from academia, most of my writing has been in that. One of the first book I published was a collaborative book called Thinking Out Loud on Paper. And it was about integrating what we call a day book, which is like, the cow covered mead composition notebooks, integrating that into the classroom. Yeah. And really using that basically at a lot of what I'm talking about, just writing to write, having a space for all the swirl that we have going on, inviting students to put that down on the page. And so that is a wonderful book that's been out there for many years now. And then most recently, actually in the new year, I did just that. So the planning process that I use with clients, I created just a really short planning guide, and it's called This is the Year You Write Your Book. And it is a year long. If that's a timeline that works for you, you can also shorten it. It's a year-long planning guide to support your writing journey. And it's just really short and sweet. It's on Amazon. And yeah, it's that kind of thing. But yes, I am working on the next book is going to be just what I tell people out, like, what are the things I'm always saying? And so I'm in the process of writing that right now.
Oh, wait a second. You are practicing what you preach. That is so full circle.
Look at that. Yeah. I always try to do that in the classroom and just model. And so when we have co-writing sessions in my program. So when we're doing that, I'm writing right along with everyone else, with my clients. I'm sharing lines, I'm sharing pages, all the good stuff. Cause you gotta, you have to.
Now, last but certainly not least, this has been really enjoyable. What kind of advice do you give to your clients about building a platform as they're writing?
Yeah, we actually just talked about this. I had a planning VIP day workshop on Monday, and I said, start telling people what you're doing, start sharing. The book is already supporting you even as you're writing it. So let it have its own space. And so one of my clients, she did a post and said, guess what? I'm writing a book. And the amazing amount of people, the flood of commentary that she got. And so many people were like, just tell me when, I'm ready. Awesome. I will buy, I will click. And she was just like really surprised that people were affirming and just like, yes, you need the book. Absolutely. And I can't wait to read it. And I'm gonna already preemptively buying it,
That's so cool.
And the power of that. Right. And so just telling people your behind the scenes process, what are you doing? What are you working on? What does it look like? And having fun with that, as well as you're actually creating those moments, those paragraphs where you're like, oh, wow, that was good.
Yeah, take people on your journey.
Go share that. Yeah.
I always say there's no right or wrong answer, but as a publisher, that was the right answer, Shana.
Right.
Right answer.
Yay.
We want our authors sharing the journey because all of those touch points and all that visibility really helps to sell the book. So do you have any final words for our audience? I know I'm going to add in your planning guide that's available on Amazon. I will add that in the show notes. We'll have your Instagram, your website in the show notes as well. But any
Awesome.
final thoughts?
I think the main thing is just really trusting that you are a writer, even if you don't think you are. I truly think we all have important messages to share with people. And when you share your message, it gives other people permission to share theirs. And we are story people. The human race, like, we love stories. And so whether they're fiction stories or nonfiction, like what my people write and what I do, like, it just needs to be out there in whatever shape or form you get to decide, but keep writing. You are a writer. Right on.
Right on. And if that wasn't enough of a little push, Shana also has a free webinar called 3 Steps to Help You Know If You Are Ready to Write a Book. And we will link to that as well. So if you're thinking, oh, I just need a little bit more support, whether or not I know I'm going to do this, we will make sure that that's available to you. So thank you so much, Shana, for being on today.
Thank you. This is so fun. I enjoyed it.
Hey, listeners, you know where to find Shana for more information. Hop over to those show notes. We look forward to our next interview. They air every Tuesday. Until then, think outside the box and don't be afraid to reach your audience in new and creative ways. Thank you.
Cardinal Rule Press offers a variety of support to authors, booksellers, librarians, and families. Find out more at cardinalrulepress.com.